And the two candidates are believed to have vastly different approaches to conducting foreign policy. So it's unclear how Washington's trilateral cooperation with Seoul and Tokyo will play out. Our Oh Soo-young has this report.
Trilateral ties between Seoul, Washington and Tokyo must remain intact, regardless of who wins the presidential election in the United States. According to experts speaking with Arirang both presidential candidates, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, would be advised to maintain the three-way cooperation with its East Asian allies. The leaders of South Korea, the United States and Japan at Camp David last year agreed to jointly handle North Korea's nuclear threat, work together for regional and economic security, and collaborate on advanced technology. Experts say as the Indo-Pacific region continues to see geopolitical rivalry, maritime and territorial disputes, and a nuclear North Korea, a Harris administration would likely maintain and further develop the Camp David framework. But a second Trump term raises question marks, given the former US president's track record of scrapping agreements and dealing with countries on a bilateral basis.
Any rational person serving in a Trump administration would look to that and try to maintain that, try to keep it in place, try to strengthen it by any means possible. But once again, we go back to the traditional antipathy that Donald Trump has expressed towards alliances and alliance partners, and it raises some questions about whether the leader of that administration, the Trump administration, would try to ignore or undermine what has been achieved here.
Another risk factor is Japan's domestic politics, as the governing party there is likely to prioritise turning around its low approval ratings and Japan's sluggish economy. Still, analysts say South Korea's growing prowess in security and advanced technology makes it an essential partner.
Given South Korea's strategic importance in East Asia, it has become an indispensable partner for the US and Japan in maintaining regional stability and countering threats from China and North Korea. South Korea plays a vital role, especially in intelligence in North Korea, and its strengths in semiconductors and military capabilities make it a crucial partner. The US and Japan heavily rely on South Korea's cooperation in these areas, particularly in securing stable supply chains and leveraging South Korea's technological advances in semiconductors.
President Yoon Suk-yeol and new Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba agreed in October on the need to continue their three-way partnership. While Yoon's aides have also noted there is bipartisan support for the South Korea-US alliance in Washington and ongoing measures to institutionalize their cooperation with Japan.
Trump has his own very clear stance towards China. So therefore, if US, Korea, and Japan trilateral cooperation means something about countering China, the need for it will remain in place. And even though Trump comes in as the new president, the professionals who runs foreign policy and defense policy, even though we expect a lot of them to be replaced after Trump comes in, but those people who will replace the existing policymakers, even the newcomers, most likely will advocate the trilateral cooperation between South Korea, United States, and Japan to remain in place.
Regardless of who moves into the White House on January 20th next year, observers expect the three countries to hold a trilateral leaders summit by the year end, fulfilling their pledge to hold annual meetings at the top level. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.